So this phenomenon, reverse gangbang, um, five women ganging up together against one man. Um, and it's depicted in the movie Besieged with Nicole Kidman, and there was a prior version with Clint Eastwood, the same title, Besieged. Why it happens, and then I have fantasies of that, so that's why it would happen. Except uh, in my fantasies, it's the way I want it, and the way it's happening isn't. Psychologically, why it happens, and then so like I summed it up in the in this card. I wrote it down. So the abuses, so this verbal abuse, gaslighting, defamation, false reports, and then the criminal part is false 911 calls. And then that's the one that Tanya did got me arrested, but they like threw the case out. It was framed false report, as was Neda's. And both Neda and Tanya were manipulated by Anita to do it. Anita manipulated mom to make false reports to APS, and then have them all cooperate together to give it with these charges to make it give it credibility. The notion that I take mom's phone away so she can't get help is false. She herself said that she cut the landline, and she herself puts herself in my car as I'm leaving to flame me because the neighbor crosses my mom and Anita, they collaborate together for that intention. So, and then Tanya did the same thing. She was playing the same gang music that Justine Taylor was playing and wouldn't stop to trigger me. Tanya never listens to gang music. Why was she playing it that day for so long? It's on the video. I keep begging her to stop. And then the second trigger was her conversation with the police. So this always happens when the real core truth is coming out. What happened in the previous video? Um, Tanya was playing gang music and wouldn't stop. The same that the squad was playing, well, most of the time, like even late at night, middle of the night, and wouldn't stop while we had restraining order against her, and we had to leave the house. And then she would take over, bring all her gang friends into that house while we were there. You understand? And throw a party. And then so I didn't want to have to leave again. And she was doing that intentionally. Tanya never listens to gang music. And then the squatter was talking to her gang friends all the time. And I told her that's a threatening gesture. The police weren't enforcing the restraining order against her intentionally. For all the gang activity, for the gang music, for talking to her friends, making like lying, defamation, making false reports to police and to people about me, and then making threats to me with her gang friends. So Tanya then on that same occasion, right after she was with the incident with the gang music, she goes in the room and she gets a call from the police. How did the police know we were fighting? Why did the what initiated the call with the police, because that was also triggering me. Her talking, I thought she was talking to Richard, her brother, which she does. She says, gangs up with her brother against me. I have the recordings. So, and then the family cult, which is involved in politics, which concerns the brother doesn't like me because I'm talking about that, the murder of the dad. So he was involved with the mayor. And Tanya herself was telling me what goes on in that gang. Political power, the influence with the police station. These are facts. You look into it, you see it's a fact that dad was murdered September 23, and there was cover up about it, the corruption over there in Bryan, Texas. So why did the police call? So that was another trigger, and my intention was to take the phone away. Not that to take it away so she can't call anybody, but to stop her performing those two triggers that she would refuse to stop. It was just to take the phone away for her to stop the gang music and stop talking to the cops. When I'm explaining to the cops or the other people, she's that this is the method, is they say bad things about you to people, and then those people don't want to hear your side of it. She says bad things to the therapist, to my friends, to church people, to cops. Justine Taylor was making false reports, formula false reports, that then the cops have a law. They say she has a privacy of the reports that she makes. They don't want to tell me what they were told. You see? So that's Tanya. Neda has that condition. So Neda, I'm not saying this to attack, but the truth has to find out. Her two sons have restraining order against her. Imagine your own kids having restraining order against you, and Tanya, your kids won't talk to you. I'm not saying this to be mean or to accuse you. That's the condition. You're cruel to your own kids. So is Neda. That's why you have restraining order. That's why they should be separated from you. That's the condition. My mom hurting, so my mom, and then all of you, my mom having that, so it makes sense that I have you and Neda and Tanya in my life because you have the same condition my mom has. Okay? All the false reports she's been making for 10 years because she has compulsion to complain, to abuse by complaining about seven cables. And then 2017, before that started, my dad was alive. The source of the her complaints was what she was complaining about my dad my whole life. And when my dad passed, 2017, she started complaining about the neighbors daily, and then it reaching a criminal level, calling 911 constantly about neighbors, about not having phone, about not having key to get in the house, and having them call me to abuse me because that's her condition. So Anita exploiting that in order to get inheritance, the power of attorney abuse, and cooperating with the false reports, having manipulating Neda to do it and Tanya to do it, and my mom, having orchestrating them to cooperate together. I have these conversations recorded on my surveillance, which I have perfect right to do so. And if you're claiming a criminal, claiming privacy rights to cover up their crime, let's see who who disputes my right to post these recordings of crime occurring, coordinating false reports to police. Okay? That's a crime. It needs to be prosecuted. And that's Anita needs to be prosecuted for doing her false reports to APS. And then the defamation part of it is civil, orchestrating defamation. All the bad things Anita said to me in text, verbally, and her dad, and then Uncle Albert. It's and then they intentionally make it the way it is, and they say because it is a conspiracy, and so just because it's conspiracy, then you have mental disorder. The gaslighting say you're delusional, constantly repeating that to make it true, and reporting that to everybody to discredit the reporter. To so the neighbor across the street, Alan, has granted credibility because he's a retired cop, and he tells it to the social workers, the therapists, and the cops. So facts we can fact check individually, and then them saying all the people saying everything you're saying is not true. When you go through it individually, you see these are facts. Let's fact check every single statement I've made and they've made. That's what I'm always asking for. So having all those 911, the fact that we requested 911 FOIA request of the 911 calls of my mom's address, they only sent one. So that in itself shows cover. Okay? So this phenomenon, I want the world to know about it. I think that's why we lived it to together, all of us agreed to live this, our souls agreed to made a contract to live this and document it. I think that's my life purpose. I document everything going on, and this happened to me for a good purpose. I mean, it's a cruel thing that's happened to me. They did it maliciously, but it's done to document it and have it be understood. The larger, when you look at the larger view of it, um, the Holocaust was the most atrocious thing. But the movie Schindler's List isn't bad. It's just documenting what an aspect of it. Do you understand? At some point of view, this what's going on is beneficial. My intention isn't to complain or play victim; it's to document what's going on, and that distinction is very, very crucial. I'm not saying this to blame, to accuse, to do defamation, to complain, to play victim. I'm documenting the truth of what's going on. Please make note of that. I'm Zeke Matevosian.